Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's morning briefing. Unfortunately, the world awoke today with headlines of terrorism all over the globe. There's just been a horrific mass shooting on the Las Vegas Strip outside of a country music festival, where at least 20 are confirmed dead and over 100 others injured. So far, it's too early to tell if this is an ISIS-related attack, but police have confirmed that the main suspect who was shot and killed at the scene was a local. One accomplice is still at large, and a manhunt is underway. Less than 24 hours prior to this attack, a suspected Islamic extremist stabbed and murdered 2 women to death at the main train station in Marseille, France. He reportedly shouted Allahu Akbar when he pulled his knife, and was shot dead by soldiers at the scene. Unfortunately, there was yet another attack shortly thereafter, this time in Edmonton, Canada, when a 30-year-old suspect rammed his van into a police car, then took off on foot with a knife. The suspect injured 5 people in his rampage before police took him into custody. They're calling this one a lone wolf attack. But regardless, the whole world is mourning the events of the last tragic 24 hours. Spanish police were ordered to use force to block the Catalan referendum vote that just took place. Hundreds were injured as police shut down voting booths across the region and even reportedly fired rubber bullets into crowds, but the numbers are in and a whopping 90% have voted for an independent Catalonia. Israeli Knesset member Ksenia Svetlova from the Zionist Union was actually there to personally observe the vote and was shocked to witness the police brutality on the ground used to block the voting. Speaking to reporters, Svetlova recalled watching cops firing upon unarmed voters with dangerous rubber bullets and witnessing bleeding citizens being taken away by ambulance. Despite the Catalan call for independence, the Spanish government has called the vote illegal and has clearly not hesitated to use force. Police were able to shut down 79 of the 2,300 voting centers all over Catalonia, but clearly not the voice of the voters, the vast majority of whom overwhelmingly voted for an independent Catalonia separate from Spain. Israeli border police and IDF units raided another illegal weapons factory in the West Bank overnight, arresting a supposed arms dealer and seizing the weapons found. Sniper rifles and scopes that included night vision were among the items seized. According to police spokesman Mickey Rosenfeld, quote, "A number of weapons equipped with telescopic lenses and night vision were found and confiscated at the scene, and one suspect was arrested and is being questioned. The sniper rifles are being examined to determine where they came from, and an investigation into why they were being stored in that area and if they're connected in any way to terrorist activity has been opened." End quote. Despite some protesters finally coming to an agreement with the government, many disabled demonstrators are continuing their protests and traffic blockages in efforts to increase monthly stipends. Speaking at the weekly cabinet meeting on Sunday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the agreement that was signed on Friday details, quote, "a supplement of almost 50% of the considerable expenditure that the State of Israel spends on dealing with persons with disabilities," end quote. After the signing, however, disabled protesters of the group named the Panthers released a statement saying, quote, "We weren't invited to the negotiating table, so from our point of view, nothing is new," end quote. The new deal designates a, quote, "historic rise in benefits for upwards of 250,000 disabled Israelis from 700 shekels to 1,800 shekels, or from about $200 to $500. The raise will take part over 4 stages starting in January 2018 and will come at a cost to the state of 4.2 billion shekels, or about $1.2 billion. By 2021, the plan outlines that people with a 60% disability will receive nearly $600 or 2,100 shekels per month, and that people needing full-time care will get 4,500 shekels or over $1,200 monthly. The Panthers have vowed that they will continue to protest until their demands are met, however, which this plan does not. Their demands include, among other things, a raise in benefits to be equal with the minimum wage of Israel of about 5,300 shekels per month or $1,500, and for the rise to come all at once. Israeli police are now reporting that they've uncovered a huge network of smugglers bringing contraband into Israeli prisons. Through the investigation, authorities have arrested a West Bank resident and several citizens of Israel for smuggling mobile phones to security prisoners using a canteen supply company. All those arrested so far work for the aforementioned company. The ring was discovered when prison service workers conducted a search of a shipment of soft drinks and snacks. 5 mobile phones and SIM cards were discovered. Just days later, another such shipment was caught on its way to another prison. The phones range in size and sophistication from basic phones as small as a lighter to standard-sized smartphones. Apparently, according to testimony gathered by the police, the employees of the canteen company were receiving as much as 8,000 shekels for the smaller phones and up to 15,000 shekels for the smartphones. 5 suspects in all have been apprehended. 39-year-old Ziad Shanti of the West Bank, 22-year-old Ali Turki of Rishon, 25-year-old Yaakov Yavregimov of Bat Yam, 23-year-old Richard Paschenik of Rosh Ha'ain, and a 20-year-old also from Rishon LeZion whose name has been withheld. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.